So we're going to share. By the way, welcome to Huntsville. Have either of you been here before? I've seen Austin.
No, I've not. No.
Well, welcome to town. Does anybody have any local restaurant recommendations for them? Sign in here. San Andreas Pizzeria.
I'm so thank you. Keep talking on my phone about your chance.
Everybody here? Everybody here just fine?
Can you hear us?
Yes. It's a little echoey. So I'm very loud. I can
Can I use the mics?
Here we go.
Sorry.
Are we good with or without mics?
Can you hear us?
We're good.
We'll use them if we need to, like for sound effects or something.
Well, guys, welcome to Huntsville. Neither of you have been here before?
No.
Well,
No, I didn't feel welcome to someone. I have a slight reputation for
I'm going to use the mic and the other one.
all right. So, guys, we're going to hand it over to Q&A here in just a little bit, but I always like to hang out with my guests to kind of warm up the crowd a little bit. Whenever I was talking with Star Trek actors, I talk with them about my favorite episodes. So, there's no, there's no one particular episode that I want to talk about, but there's a kind of episode that I want to talk about tonight. So, I feel like there's a handful of episodes, notably the Christmas episodes, or the one that played directly after the Super Bowl stress relief, where it felt like the entire cast was uncomfortable. How much improv was in that? What went into those type of episodes? Are there any stories that you can share?
Well, at first, just know that our show is very well written. Like, it's just written. I mean, that doesn't mean we didn't get to improvise sometimes, but a lot of it was on the page. Am I right, Oscar?
Yes, no, I was talking about the ceiling. I'm not,
I think next year we're going to come out of the ceiling.
but there's a lot of ventilation. Speaking of ceilings, this reminds me of the fire drill. You see what I did? I tied it over. I tied everything together. No, Kate's right. The show was written. Make no mistake about it. It was written so funny on the page. We had giveaways. Remember those?
We did. But, you know, I always said, like, occasionally we get to improvise, which was really fun, but I always feel like Mario and Drake is driving. Like, writers were like Mario and Drake, like, don't take the keys.
And we were the cars. We were the Formula One cars.
And so I hit that car. You guys really are. Thank you.
And so we improvised a little bit to answer it. Yeah. We improvised a little bit, but not as much as we did. Yeah.
You're not as brilliant as you think.
You also got to work with a number of like great directors that go on to do like a lot of great films, like James Gunn, for example. We mentioned you earlier today. Like, were there any that come to mind for you? You were like, hey, I'm kind of like a little nervous because this guy's a big shot, or something that you saw like, hey, they're going places.
Abrams.
JJ Abrams. JJ Abrams.
Twice.
Kate, just once. Once was enough.
Once.
There was an episode where Roy punches Jim and
There was a lot of lips players in the office.
John Favreau, like, actually did the Texas City days. And he worked in Texas City, but he never was not on stage. He was like, he was a reader, like, so cool. But like, you know, Ramus.
Harold Ramis. Harold, rest in peace.
I know, right? And then I'm just saying, I'm Bucky that person. Josh Wheaton, yes, that was the best. How ironic.
He's in the back.
In the back. No one said
We use all the space. I'm going to be here a while.
so feel free to tell me if you guys are uncomfortable with just good ones.
Who else, Kate? Was that it?
Let's see. I mean, how much time you got?
Look at this guy. He's improvising. Hold on a second. Who's doing it?
So say, right then?
It's
Just right then.
Jason.
Just right then. That's what I said. Right then.
And when he was directing Kate, you were invited to go to the movie too.
That's right.
Which great music movie. Great movie.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, there was a lot of first. That's today, you know, like, what you, yeah. In a way, to have great directors.
Oh, yeah, no, that was great. It was amazing. But sometimes we had that more than once.
Yeah. There's a TV had.
I thought it was Jen Davis.
No, I have Ramus.
He back about the time?
Yeah.
Okay, and JJ would, and other guys too, they would, like, when they show up, they'd rent a truck for us. Like a food truck or something outside. It was very sweet.
Like, they fed us and well, they paid us in food.
Hey, so if you guys got any questions for me, we got a live mic over here. If you want to go ahead and line up, we've got about 40 minutes to get to the next town. I'm going to get in as many people as we possibly can, so please go for it. But guys, I got one person in mind that kind of already had a question. We spoke earlier. Please come up here. Everybody get a big round of applause.
Hey, so I'm gonna comment. I got a couple of questions. I know you're raising. I'm hoping you can help us with payroll forms. Anything further or beyond this? Maybe you can help some payroll questions.
What was the question?
So let's not forget, he actually is an accountant, and tax deadline is coming up next week. I think it's 31st.
Oh, God.
The TV is not real. It was a pink document.
I think Kevin can help you because he has that 11. Maybe that can help you. But thank you.
You're such a good actor that you really thought you knew. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Thanks for playing along with our stupid
No, that's fine.
All right, so I see everybody lining up. So you guys. So I'm sure you guys got a lot of great stuff to talk about. Let's go.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I wanted to know, for each of you, what your favorite episode was to film. I have one that just absolutely love the process of.
Well, it's so hard to pick one, but I'm going to pick, one of my favorites was Moroccan Christmas. I did not do my own stuff as far as my, I did not catch my own fire. Something about like face gel kind of freaked me out. But just being in a car with Steve for like just a little like the driving and everything that they had. It was just a really fun process. So I he said he was taking her out for a drink. So she thought they were looking for a bar. That's a low blow to it was a douche.
It was like a bed. We lived like, we went to the car, and then we go back.
You guys was going to
I like, we did a lot of music videos and action shots, and those were so fun, because I like the movie camera and us jumping in and out. So, those,
How was that together?
Well, we did it right the first time. We actually got it right on the first take. But the nobody that was written on my stomach when I was on Kevin's back was unreadable. And they do it. What? I remember the first thing, well, I still like absorbed the I should have gotten a tattoo instead of
it was a nice change of pace, I'm sure they liked it.
So I remember, in that part, you can hear Ed talking about, like, we did it. So it seems like everybody's like elation to actually have done that was real.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think we did 3 takes, which is not bad considering how much it takes. Yeah. But like I said, they got it on the first one.
All those things like that.
I know, I love that too. Me too.
Mine too. Nice to meet you guys. So my question was, with so many comedians in a room, how many times did you guys have to do like retakes because of somebody giggling or laughing or things like that? That happened.
Well, the big gigglers were, I'm gonna have them, John Krasinski, Mindy, and Angela. Those are the 3 top gigglers.
You're not wrong.
You can never write an Oscar. I only broke it, it was like, it's already over, we're actually gonna, never really.
And Steve had John's number. I didn't respond. It was fun to see John laugh. It was just so silly. Yeah, it was fun. John would crack up a lot.
Thank you for the question. Thank you. Who's next? Question.
I was just curious, there's a screen maker, like, figure out, like, people
Well, unfortunately, my name is Oscar. So it's awful. Because I'm out with my daughter, and someone's like, oh, it's good. She's like, Daddy. I'm like, no, they don't know me.
That's true. I feel very lucky to call Mary. My name is Steve. I know I didn't like go to grade school with you.
That's right. That's right.
I got a question about that. So, like, so many of the actors share a name with their character. Is that something that you got to decide early on when they were quick?
No, yeah, great guys. Do you mind? I want this class. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. And I think that he thought they were really good office names. They really were like Angela, Oscar, Creed. Those are really good. Here's how crazy Creed is. First and last name. That's bananas. At least that's Martinez.
But he was basically playing a version of himself, though, right?
Essentially.
How did that come into play? Somebody just asked him if that was cool.
No, he didn't audition for the part. He was a background plus background, and he got folded into. I mean, he figured out that he got part of the show.
Yeah.
So
You guys don't put your day job, you don't know where it's gonna be.
That's actually very on brand for Creed.
yeah, you guys know he was in the Grassroots, right? He was an old man. He was playing guitar since he was 19 years old. And by the way, when we first got the gig, when we first got on The Office, and it's that honeymoon period where you're all making friends and you're meeting people, and you've got this job, and it's great. And Creed and I hung for a while, and I went over to, before he moved anywhere, he was living in like a gopher run on the side of Laurel Canyon, a lot of little houses. And I went over there, and the place was the size of this table, but it was very nice, and nice to you, it was small. And we're like, blah, 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 and I'm like, doing your grade, Grassroots, and I do songs. And he's like, yeah, we're talking. And he took it out an electric guitar. He started playing, and he shreds. He shreds on the guitar. He's not a good, he's like a really good rock and roller.
And he has 4 toes. Next question. Who's next? Alphonse.
Are y'all like your characters in real life? And if so, how?
Oh.
So I would say I went down to the bar when this happened. And I feel like maybe I've talked about it on something where it's, maybe I don't know, maybe that's like, did I take my top off of her? Not on purpose.
No, Kate's a good kid. And Meredith's a good kid too. A little bit of a, but not too much.
I don't know.
My character, I'm a bit of a prudish a-hole. I don't know. Right? I'm a nice guy, but a little bit, right? Actually, though, they said actually, because I think I was saying it too much, the writers wrote it in. And I'm like, oh, how funny. And they're like, oh, so they're observing us. So, yeah, a little bit. Steve Carell is nothing like Michael Scott. Rain, a little bit.
He knows a lot. He knows way too much about Battlestar Galactica.
Kevin's nothing, Brian is nothing like Kevin.
Angela.
Is there an actor that was regular on the show that you might not have scenes with all the time?
That we were excited about to work with? Like a guest person?
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, well, I was able to see, he's great to see him. I mean, he's got, but I love working with Will Ferrell.
Oh, I know. We had a scene at a table, and James Spader was there. That was really cool. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Is he as creepy as his character?
No, we just stays there. So,
He's a normal, regular.
guys, anyone who's been around that long, that's, we know him so much. Robert Downey
He's a movie
Jr.
star. He's a movie star.
He's a movie star. So I'll tell you this, he was there. We were excited to have him, of course, right, Kate? We were excited to have him there. And I don't know, Kate tried to mention, but for me, like, I remember him like being there 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And he wasn't talking to me. I don't know if he was talking to him. He wasn't talking. He was just there. And I'm like, okay, Oscar, meet your heroes. Something that works out, something that doesn't. It's fine. I don't care. Whatever. We all have, maybe he has so many friends. Doesn't matter. And then, like, on the 4th or 5th day, he's in the makeup chair. And out of nowhere, he just starts saying a story. And I'm like, oh, he does so many jobs. He knows so many. He was just kind of checking us out to see what kind of people we were. And he's like, okay, these are cool people. I'm going to open up a little bit. And then he was James Baker. But I do remember that.
Thank you for the question. Who's this? Hey.
Hi. Show Kate your shirt.
I did it. That's the best.
Okay.
She's a good friend of mine. She's obsessed.
Oh, good to see you again.
One of my favorite ones, kind of going back to kind of off the mix. One of my favorite ones is Daryl's land.
Yeah.
Like, any of those, like,
Do you want us to dance right now?
No.
like that is, well, how much?
I think we just made a decision before.
Yeah, we
Like,
made-
it just like.
We did our thing. Kate can dance, I can dance. Yeah, I did the whole thing. It's one of my favorite videos.
I think one plus like nobody's business.
I grew up in New Jersey. I was a student before 17 years old. My cousin got me.
He's the real deal, for sure.
From those days.
Thank you so much for the question. Thanks.
I'm going to piggyback off that real quick. One that I remember that's a little similar was the Cafe Disco episode, when there was like the old Michael Scott Paper Company office.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
turned into that. And there just seemed to be a really good vibe in that episode. It seemed like you guys were having a good time, and it came across well on screen. Do you remember that one?
Always had a good time.
It's fun to dance. It's fun.
It's so funny.
It's a party.
Kate and I were just talking. I love Kate. We were back, coming in on the way, and I said, remember we were at a convention somewhere where you came and I danced the whole way to, what's the,
It was Queen. Stop
you came and I danced the whole way. And it's so fun. And now, guess what? It's one of my daughter's favorite songs.
Hey.
She loves Queen.
Love it.
I saw Queen guys. I saw Queen. TV was great, man. It's fun.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's all you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my question was asked. Which episode was your favorite and most memorable to film?
I think Gay Witch Hunt for me. This was a big favorite that Greg Daniels did. It let me go to Comedy Central and film a show that had sold them, and then come back later and rejoin the cast. That's a very wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, that was really fun one for everything. Thank you so much.
What's that? What's it?
So it's local restaurant and brewery in Straight Out, and I'm so glad you mentioned it. I've been to work over there. Yeah.
You're saying
Yeah. She loves you.
We're going straight to hell.
Aside from the opportunity, that's kind of close to my next. But on the sunny end, I just
I don't remember shit about this. I was on Curb for season 2, I think, episode 5, and I made them laugh, so that was really cool. Made people reel it.
I was like her, but I got what I like my question. Yeah. I was kind of fun, I was with myself, I said, no, I'm gonna say, I had fun on, I don't know, I mean,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a.
yeah, that's a really fun show.
That was
you
all
know.
improvised.
That's-
No, it's one of,
Reno.
Reno was all improvised. That was a long time ago. Those guys were very sweet. They were very nice people. They helped me.
I like being on the young show, because my kid is like, he's amazing. We used to, we literally shot 16 in a row, just the two of us. I was like, who is this kid? He's like a 45-year-old kid stuck in like a 10-year-old body. And we were
Thank you. Oh.
I just have a question. So when Steve went, they have to interview, right? You guys all, and you mentioned Spader on the show. She's been with Lorna, Greg Romano. Is there anybody that you would have Dan Spader? Steve's in office with the actress. What do you think would be fun?
Very good question.
It would have been more interesting to boss that was interviewed during that episode.
Major Lake Scott.
Yeah, I know, right? And Jim Carrey was pretty wonderful. Catherine
Well, on
Tate.
that.
Yeah, Catherine Tate, I liked what she did. They brought her back, it was like a little bit different.
Bob Odenkirk was on. Yeah.
Awesome. From those people, he's actually up on Michael Scott. I would have been different. Better call Michael Scott.
See, I was telling someone earlier, the cast was cast according to the league. They were looking at Bob Odenkirk, Andy Ricker, my buddy David Jones, some of those people, and some other guy, I don't know who. And in my mind, I'm like, I love all these guys, and I think they're great, but okay, we'll see. I'm like, and then whatever Steve was doing fell through, and they wanted, he was available. When they said Steve Carell's the lead, I was like, okay, this is gonna be something. Because Steve's a little bit, there's no way Steve.
He's the only one of us that's been, nominated for an Oscar. I'm actually surprised that, and he's such a great actor. He's amazing. He's amazing. Never got it. Just has a lot of ideas and maybe say the same line and maybe see it in a way you're like, oh, the teacher just would take my, where the hell did that come from? Thank you so much. Who's this?
So mine's also off topic, and it's for Oscar. One of my favorite rom-coms is The Proposal. I kind of want to know about like some of your favorite moments of the movie.
Well, to me, the first day of work was the dance scene. And I was there 7:30 in the morning. I, met Mary Stiebergen, Betty White, Malin, all of them. I started dancing. And I remember my then girlfriend. I texted her, so I'm like, it's like 9 a.m. And I'm like, this is great. I'm in heaven. I'm doing the dancing. We're doing the thing. It's ridiculous. And then I texted back at 11. I'm like, I think we got the shop. We're going to be here a little longer. It's I texted at 2 p.m. I'm like, I think we're done. But we're by 6 p.m. I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over. What does she want? Because they have to shoot and then switch the cameras and get the reaction of everybody, reaction of Sandra, reaction of this. It's 8 p.m. We start this in the film. But I can't complain because Betty White's there and she's not complaining. So no one can complain. And then finally when Sandra's like, Anne Fletcher was she's like, Anne, are we up? And she's like, oh, just a little more. And then we kind of wrapped it up then. But it was a whole day and it was fun, but it was a long day. But again, you can't complain because Betty White's there.
Who's next?
So I'm supposed to have in
Oh, question?
I have my pelvis test. My pelvis test, I still have it.
I'm sorry, you
My pelvis test.
Oh.
I have to look outside John Krasinski. Instead of Jim.
so cold.
But then I'll go on.
Did you say?
Anything else?
Well, they take, I don't, I'm trying to cover, I can't hear a thing. That's why I look at Kate every time someone speaks. I think I'm going deaf. Anyway, that's for another.
That Queen concert.
It was a big night. So did I take anything? I think I took a belt and some shoes. I very pragmatic. Nothing meant anything to me. This was a job. I didn't have anything on my desk, whatever. I know Brian took like the beans, the jelly beans, whatever. That's like my character, I'm very cold and pragmatic. I took a belt and shoes. So, they're probably not there. Thank you.
What was it like for the guests to you after StreamYard? Also, what was it like working with David Tech?
First part I say it was difficult, because I felt that Steve was on the show. I never did that, we were doing an interview with the press, not knowing that I was announced that Steve was not coming back. And they're like, hey, we just found out, Steve's not coming back. What did you say about that? I'm like, I think we lost the meeting, I can't hear you, but I was like, but it's tough because, I mean, he's a genius, so I don't know, I thought the last 2 years, I felt like season 8 was like, okay, what's happening, what's happening? But then I feel like 9 was like, I feel like the name got on track and things got tied up in such a good way, so, I mean, and I've known Dave Hecker for a bajillion years, I know him for second season games, and he's just as crazy as Tom Packer. He will tell you that himself, so if you get a chance to see him live, towards I think he's going to be here next week.
He is. He
Oh,
does.
see, yeah.
He does a show. He's doing stand up live where he does honest trivia, kind of in character a little bit. But
Exactly. He's wearing a ruffled suit, and it's got like some mistletoe right by his crotch. Guys, go support it, seriously. I think you can actually win prizes. So make some money with that knowledge. Go to a bar and do a trivia night if you're over 21.
There was a guy before David who was playing that. Check.
Have to switch it back.
There was a guy before Keckner who was playing that role. And he was. There was a guy before Keckner playing the role, and he was afraid to touch Steve Carell. He was a little intimidated. And he was just doing the lines, he was just doing it, whatever. And halfway through the day, there was a rumor going around that he was out. He was out. And Greg Daniels was walking around. And I went up to him with a couple of names from the ground buddies of mine, Regan Burns and Kevin Ruff. And I'm like, hey, because they're tall guys. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, oh no, we're going to have David Keckner come in. And I'm like, oh, and Keckner came in the next day, and he was a tornado. He'd always keep up against the stick, grinding on him, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's Keckner. And this other guy was just, but he came in like a tornado, and yeah. Go see him next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
He's the crazy stuff.
Yes. Yeah, David's crazy.
Real quick, that was a good question. I got kind of like a similar question for you guys. We were talking about like, how was it, in that season when Spader came in after Steve left? What was the point early on where you realized like, oh, this is a thing. This is starting to be big?
You mean after Steve left?
No, like at the beginning, like in the first or second season.
When 41 Virgin came out, it was so, the hype for that was so big, and I'm like, oh my God, we got that guy. But the first time I watched the rough cut of the edited season 1, I was like, I actually agree with this different network, because Steve is so funny.
Well, the first episode of, enough about Steve. The first episode was the episode they did in England. It's the same time. The second episode was diversity. And that episode, I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, who wrote that? Oh, that teenager, BJ Novak, this young kid wrote it. That episode's so good. I'm like, we're on something special. This is a good show. We had a really moving, emotional goodbye for Steve. Remember in the warehouse? Yeah, I enjoyed the last 2 seasons. They were a little different without Steve, but I thought they were good. I thought they were.
Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? What's happening? I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Sorry, no, no, no. Next question, sorry.
So, with all the fun that you have in office cruise, what's your guys' personal favorite cocktails?
Personal favorite cocktails?
Yeah, soft drink.
I don't know.
I'm a wine type gal. I love the wine type. I also like, Jameson and ginger ale. You can't go wrong with those. Just saying. But you have to be a rich one. Drink responsibly, please. Don't drink it for me. Then you'll get it.
Over straight to L, then you'll get
I
drink.
gotta go straight down.
Thank you.
Who's it?
That's chocolate. Hi, chocolate.
So did you guys really know, like, I know you said you hit around running after the block of the hands, but did you really know what the show would have? Even like the British, so they the residents of the beach.
We had, okay, that's it. Kate, where was that? We had a Q&A at the DPA.
Yes.
Remember what year was that? Okay, whenever that was, we were like having our show, and then maybe season 2, we had a Q&A like this, and people were in the audience, and people were like, I drove from Houston, and we're like, oh, people drove from out of state to come and talk to us for an hour or something. I was like, okay, this is special.
I don't think any of us have any idea that, like, literally 11 years later, people do this crap. Like, you guys really do. You just do. I mean, it's amazing. And the fact that, like, I mean, it's truly, it's just, you're like, that first Christmas episode, when we were, like, being on iTunes, you used to give a buy an episode. You guys remember this over that $1.99? And I'm grabbing the screen of the iPod. It's like, what the hell is this? And I remember we never got paid for the union didn't have a system to pay us. So NBC tried to shut us up and they got us all iPods. But like, you would never know. I think, like, I also feel like, even though some people are working, this show made all of us, like, we all came up, like, all of a sudden people knew our names, which is crazy. So I feel like that was a great thing too, is that when you come up together with the show, it seems like it's more of a family than you start with a really big star and then always compare you to Sarah, not really. But yeah, so it's a family. But yeah, we love you. You guys are the family. You're part of the family. Thanks.
I'm good. Pulled it out of my hand before.
I was trying to think fast. They are the office ladies because they're so far in the season, or into all seasons now. So can you tell me about your rap moments when they said that's grandma, period, that's grandma's?
Well, we were all wrapped together. There was one scene where Green plays guitar. That was our last scene.
What was that?
They kept having us a few more lines. It's like, I felt like right then, I said, we were 2 hours late for a rap party. People were like, right then, I said, wanted to end. It's like, remember that?
And people crying all the time. Yeah, it was very emotional that last. Thank God we had, like Kate said, Will Ferrell there on the last.
It was the last episode, but
When Steve left.
yeah. Steve left, yeah.
So Will Ferrell was there on that last week of shooting, and he's an old friend of the show. But that was a lot of laughing and crying on that week. That week was very emotional.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
No, it's okay.
Quick question, when we don't know what to watch, we put on the office, I just pick, what do you guys put on?
For comedy,
Bar rescue.
there's a show right now called Life and Beth with Amy Schumer. I think it's really funny. And what else? Palm Royale with Kristen Wiig, but that's a little light. Life with Beth is real. It's like a lot of emotion, and it's very fun.
Yeah, I've been watching, yes, I've also been watching, Lessons in Chemistry. So I went right to the office from it. Like, a lot of good stuff on TV right now is, like from office people. And did you guys see that, Nora Phoenix movie last year with Jeff Morrison? That was written by, an office friend as well. Such a great guest.
BJ's movie was very good.
Yes.
The name escapes me, but it was
Vendetta or Vendetta?
Yes, that was extremely good.
That was good, yeah.
It's funny how many of the actors from the cast have gone on to direct great movies like that. Like, did you ever have any indication that John would be a great horror director?
Not horror. He directed this movie. What's the one? Hard Questions for Hard Bad Men. He wanted to do that since college, and he got it done. And then he went on to do Quiet One, and now he has It out, Imaginary Friends. Yeah, he's a big time director.
As he should be. And he did a couple episodes, to be honest. He was great. He really was great. Some people I felt like
complete nerve authority.